Hello and welcome to the 11th lesson of the intensive speaking course. Today we have a very important vocabulary lesson and an even more important grammar lesson, which we're going to be going over. So let's get right into it, and we're going to be watching what? We're not going to be watching. We're going to be talking about books and films. The vocabulary that you use for books and films is the same. And I want to tell you a little bit of a secret. The vocabulary that we're going to be learning today can be used not only for books and films, but for art, for museums, for different kinds of things, any kind of things. A lot of things you can use to describe, a lot of things can be described using the vocabulary which we're going to be learning today. So there's a lot of very good stuff here. Let's get right into it. The first word is action-packed, which is kind of like a collocation already. Action-packed is an adjective which describes something that is full of action. Packed means a lot of something put into something else. So when you say something is action-packed, it means full of action, and there's action everywhere. Next is the word addictive. Addictive means something that is easy for you to become addicted to. Something that it's something that you like a lot, and you can quickly start needing it. When you're addicted to something, you feel like you need it. So addictive is something that you feel like you need. Creepy is kind of scary, but it's less about boo and more about being kind of slowly scared of something. Here's the difference. Scary is like a spider. When you see a spider and you're afraid of it, that's scary. When you see something outside of the window and you feel like it's looking at you, that's not scary, but it's creepy. It feels a little bit scary. Next is the word dreary. Dreary is when you go outside and the sky is gray, there's rain, it's depressing. It feels not happy. Dreary is basically the opposite of happy, I guess. Entertaining. Entertaining is something that you can use to describe something you like. Anything you like is entertaining. For example, a person can be entertaining. A book, a TV series, anything like that, all of that can be entertaining. It's a good word. Next is futuristic. Futuristic is just a beautiful word. One of my favorites. I really like it. And it basically means something that is something that makes you feel like it's connected to the future. For example, you can say that a book is futuristic. I actually use, personally, I use the word futuristic too much. I use it for everything. For example, when I go outside, I go into a taxi car, for example. I go into a taxi and the driver is I don't know. The driver has lights in his car, special lights that look nice. I can say that that's futuristic. And it's kind of a joke. It's not really futuristic, but if you say something is futuristic, it basically means it's cool. I use the word futuristic like that. And this is a part of English that a lot of non-native speakers, they have trouble with, because native speakers, a lot of the time, we use words in our own way. And the main way that you can start doing this yourself is by understanding where the borders are. Right? For example, the word entertaining, right? The word entertaining can be used about anything. But the main definition of the word entertaining is you like watching it. It makes you feel entertained. That's the main definition. So you can use the word entertaining to talk about things that are actually not funny. Because the main definition is something you like, something you personally enjoy. You find it enjoyable. And so you can use the word entertaining by yourself to talk about, I don't know, watching somebody do this with their finger. You can say that that's entertaining. It's actually not entertaining in the real world, but the way that you are using the word is correct. So this is the main thing that you should keep in mind. If you want to change the meaning of a word, you need to learn what the real definition is, what it actually means. So that's one of the things. And for me, the word futuristic, when I say something is futuristic, it's not always actually futuristic. Most of the time, it's just a word that it makes me feel like it's something from the future. It's something cool. So yeah. Okay, heartbreaking. It breaks your heart. It's like, like a movie about love where it's like they're always fighting and they're like, no, I don't want to marry you, and then he's like, but I want to marry you. It's like, it's heartbreaking. It's like it makes you feel things. Inspirational. It's like an inspirational speech. Whenever somebody tries to make you feel something, they try to make you feel like, make you feel something basically. Intense. Intense is a good word, very good adjective to describe feeling strong emotions. Intense emotions are any kind of emotions that are strong. Always, it's a good word. Thought provoking. The word provoke basically means to start something. So, for example, start some kind of fight, or start some kind of conflict, or start, something. You can also say thought provoking, which means starting thoughts. It makes you think. It starts to make you think. So, thought provoking is something that makes you think, basically. Bedtime reading. This is whenever you read before you go to bed. Some people do this, some people don't. Doesn't really matter. Bedtime reading is a book that you read before going to sleep. Box office hit. And this is the kind of phrase, noun, word, whatever, that we use to describe a movie that is very successful. Specifically, as you can see here, in terms of money. Like, successful because people watched it and people paid a lot of money to see the movie. That is a box office hit. The box office, I'm actually not sure because I don't really watch that many movies. But as far as I understand, box office is like the place where they count how much money a movie makes. I think that's how it works. I'm not sure, unfortunately, but I think that's how it works. E-reader, like a Kindle Fire, or like some kind of like gadget, like a phone, like a type of phone that is mainly used for reading books. That's like the main use. It's for reading books. Two words that are good to know are hardcover and soft cover. So this I teach this every single speaking course, and every single speaking course I think it's very funny that like, imagine a book, right? So if you go like this on the book, like this book right here, this is not actually a book, but it's a notebook. But you see this? There's no sound, and then you can go like this, beep. This is a soft cover because the cover is soft. So this is a soft cover book. But if you have a book and you go like this, and it's hard, it makes like a sound, and then you cannot go like this, that's a hard cover. Some books are like, like they're they're hard because they're like more expensive, and others are soft because they're less expensive. It depends on the material. That's it. Page turner and from cover to cover. All of this vocabulary is beautiful, just really good vocabulary for describing books. If you ever get questions about books, these are the vocabulary words that you should be using. So page turner is a book that's so good you cannot stop reading it. That's the main definition. It's a good word. It's pretty nice. From cover to cover means from the first to the last page. So good vocabulary. Okay. Plot. Plot is the story of a book or a film. Like what happens in the story. Good words to know. Okay. I think let's move on. Let's see if there's anything else. Yeah, let's do a couple more words. Astonishing. Astonishing is a great adjective to describe something that is like very cool. I guess here it says very surprising, but you can use it for basically anything that you think is good. Like astonishing book, astonishing discovery, astonishing movie. That's also a possible collocation. Yeah, so good words. Next is awe-inspiring. Awe-inspiring comes from the word awe, and maybe you've actually seen another word that is similar, which is awesome. So awe is like the feeling of respect. Whenever you feel awed, you feel like you have been amazed, basically. So awe-inspiring basically makes you feel amazed, something that makes you feel amazed. Let's continue. The next word is coherent. Coherence comes from the word coherence, which is the idea of like something that is easy to understand, clear and carefully considered. So basically something that you can understand. Like anything you say that is if you say that something is coherent, that basically means that it is understandable, which is good. Yeah. Okay, let's continue. Coming of age. This is a type of book or a type of film that is on the topic of somebody becoming a person. So what this means is, like, usually teenagers, whenever they're growing up, they have to learn so many things. They have to, like, learn about the world. They have to start understanding how everything works. And so coming of age is, like, it's a type of book about people learning to become people. They're learning about the world. They're learning about themselves. That's kind of what this is about. Concise. This is a very, very good adjective. All of the adjectives in today's lesson are amazing. Very good adjectives for you to learn. Concise means something that is short and clear. So yeah, like easy to understand, easy to read. Like it's basically. My brain turned off. Sorry. Let me drink some Hydrolife to turn it on again. Okay. So concise basically means not using too many words, using only as many words as is needed. So it's like short and clear, basically. Just keep that in mind. It's short and clear. Okay, let's move on to the idioms and collocations of today. They are wonderful, really good idioms. Don't judge a book by its cover. This is a metaphor that you can describe about anything. You can describe this about a person, a movie, a book, anything. And basically it just means it means exactly what it says. Like a cover is like, the front of the book. Do not think that everything is going to be on the cover. There's like more inside, basically. Yeah, let's continue. To flick through. To flick through comes from the word flick. And what this means is, like, when you have a book, right? You go like this. And there's actually another definition, which is not definition, but another word, which is to leaf through, and it basically means like this. It's the same thing. Like leafing through the book is doing that. It's a good word to keep in mind. Let's continue. To know like a book. This basically means to know something very well. You usually say this about some kind of topic that doesn't have any books about it, and it basically means like you know something as if you read a book about it. Next is to read between the lines. This basically means to try to like understand information that is not there. It's like you're making let me actually write this down, an extrapolation. You're making an extrapolation, which means extrapolation is like, how do I describe it? Oh my god. Let me show you a picture. Okay, you should be able to see my screen right now. This is a picture of an extrapolation. So here we have data, this right here. This is like observed data. So I think it's loading. It should load in a second. You should be able to see it. This right here is information that we know. This is like something we know for a fact. And this right here is what we guess based on what we know. These are our ideas about this information. So if it's been going like this all of this time, 99% of the time, it's going to continue like this. It's going to continue going up. So that is called extrapolated data. This is observed data. This is extrapolated. And so when you, the vocabulary word that I was describing is to read between the lines, right? Whenever you are reading between the lines, you are making a guess about some kind of information based on what you already know. You already know some facts, and so you make an extrapolation. Let's continue. A real page turner. This is basically like a book that's so good that it makes you turn the pages very quickly. It's like, oh, I have to continue reading. It's like, choo, choo, choo. So that's my nose. That's a real page turner. Okay, yeah, good. Okay. I think let's finish with that. Oh, here's the last one. Pull an all-nighter. I don't like this phrase. Pull an all-nighter basically means when you study for the whole night, or not necessarily study. You could be doing anything else. You could be like reading a book or something like that. But it basically means you are spending the whole night reading or doing whatever kind of thing. So that's called pulling an all-nighter. Okay, so let's finish with the vocab. So we're now going to move on to the video part of today, and I have a video that I really want to show you. There's no speaking. It's a silent video. It's a silent film. But I want you to watch it because we're going to be discussing it, and I'm going to make you 2 questions, and I want you to think about the video. So these are not going to be like IELTS questions. These are more going to be questions about the video. So let's watch. It's going to be fun. I'm going to really enjoy it. I'm not gonna lie, the video is a little bit sad. So I'm sorry if it makes you sad, but this is the way it has to be. Okay, let's watch the video. I apologize. I'm sorry. I had to show you this video. It's great. It's really nice. Every time I watch the video, I always cry. It makes me really sad. So if you didn't understand what happened in the video, I will explain. Basically, this bird, a kiwi, is a type of bird that cannot fly. It doesn't have wings, so it cannot fly. And it's a bird. Birds are supposed to fly. And what happens is there's this big mountain that the kiwi puts all of these trees onto. It uses a hammer and nails to put trees on the side of the mountain. So it's like there's the big mountain, and you saw all of the trees growing, and then we saw the kiwi putting the tree onto the mountain. Um, and then what he does is he jumps off of the mountain to go through all of the trees so that he can feel like he's flying. And then at the end of the video, there's a sound. There's no question. He dies because he falls to the ground, of course. And yeah, a lot of people consider this video one of the best YouTube animations, like early YouTube animations. This video is quite old. It came out, I think, it was 16 years ago, and it was a master's thesis animation by a guy called I forgot his name, Donnie something something. But anyway, yeah, and a lot of people, a lot of people like this video. So yeah, here are two questions that I want you to think about. Here are the two questions. Okay, I'm gonna add this link so that maybe somebody else can watch it later. Okay, so here are the two questions. They are in the interaction group. I want you to answer both questions, but here is also something I want you to do. We watched this video and it didn't really have any words. It was a silent video. But what I want you to do is I want you to think about, in context of the video, do you think it was okay for the bird, the kiwi, to die to achieve his goals? This is also like, let me write this down. Okay, so the word sacrifice, if you don't know the word sacrifice, it means giving something away to get something else. And it usually means like losing something. For example, I can say, I sacrificed my time for my students. Like, I lost my time so that my students could learn. So if you want, you can answer the extra question, which is, how do you feel about the kiwi sacrificing his life to achieve his goal of flight? And if you answer that question, I would be very happy, because I really like asking people to think about this. It's interesting. A lot of people say, it's good that he died because he did what he wanted to. But a lot of people say that it's not good because it's not worth it. So it depends on, you as a person. What do you think? That's a very big thing. Okay, so I opened the writing in the group, so I'm waiting for you guys to write your answers, and then I will kind of we will be discussing, and I will be giving you feedback for your answer. So yeah, let's wait for a little. I'm gonna wait for a little bit. I'm not gonna be speaking, so you guys should be writing in the course interaction group. Yeah, I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I see some people have written their ideas, and I see actually only 4 people have written their ideas, which is good. It means that you are thinking and you are using your emotions. Oh, Barno, by the way, Barno, I'm gonna unmute you right now. Please say hello if you can hear me. Tell me, how was your test? Tell us. Barno took her speaking test today. I'm sorry for revealing your information. How
Yeah.
was it?
Hello. How are you?
Doing good.
Okay. So my exam uh time was at 2:20, but I went a little bit earlier. I was waiting, and people said there were I
I can.
hadn't heard about him before. And he asked the questions about apartment, and part two also talk about describe apartment which you visit a lot. Yeah, and the part three was mainly about apartment or infrastructure of buildings like that.
That's cool. I mean, that's a pretty good topic. Yeah, that's awesome. Do you remember some of the vocabulary that you used?
Uh, when he asked the relationship with others in part one, if I'm not mistaken, I said we get on with them or with her or with him like a house on fire. It's an idiom. I don't know if it was appropriate way. And um, yeah, I used some good vocabulary, I guess, like
Nice.
sophisticated and strong chemistry. But I cannot
Nice.
remember them all.
That's fair. That happens. That happens. Well, anyway, congratulations. Did you watch the video, the kiwi video?
No, sorry.
What do you mean no? What do you mean no? I showed it.
Us. I was doing another thing. I'm sorry for that.
My feelings are hurt, but that's okay. Anyway, all right. Thank you, Bruno. Have a good day. Congratulations and good luck on your test. I hope you get a great score and we can put your score on the channel.
Oi, thank you.
All right. Bye. Okay, let's move on. Let me start reading some of your responses, some of your answers, some of your beautiful ideas from the chat. Give me one minute. Okay, cool. Is it important for you to achieve your goals? That's question number 1. Question number 2. Is it okay for people to sacrifice things in their life to achieve their goals? Okay, Mukhadinbek. Of course, this is very crucial. Take me as an example. Because I'm spending a lot of time, energy, and nights awake, I'm always motivated. I want to feel like it's important when I reach my big goals. Good, that's nice. This is a good answer. I feel like this question is good because a lot of people in Uzbekistan, they like talking about goals, and it's a very important thing in Uzbek society for people to have goals, which is good because that means that you guys have good vocabulary connected to these ideas. From my point of view, sacrificing something to achieve your goal is the best and most efficient method to be on top of your purpose. There is a phrase that I like. Whenever you're using phrases like this, you should say, there is a phrase that I like, which is, war cannot be without sacrifices. Good phrase. Good job, Masuda. Nice. Okay, Diora. Achieving our goals is one of the most important processes in our lives. By setting goals and measuring their achievement, we can see what we have done and what we are capable of. When we can achieve our goals, people around us will respect our success. Great answer. Very good. Very to the point. Good vocabulary. Good job, Diora. Beautiful. Very nice answer. Good job. Congratulations. Nah and yeah. Moving them back. Why? Okay. It depends on what it is. For example, if you have to sacrifice your parents. Moving them back. Why? Okay. Yes. Good. Yes. Okay. Yaira. Of course, it is crucial for me. There's no meaning in my life if I cannot accomplish my goals. And life is interesting with challenging of achieving our goals, with the challenge of achieving our goals. And to be successful is really important in my life. Good. Cool. Nice. Good job. All right. Husni. Yes, having goals is really essential for me because I don't want to just wander through life as some people do. I want to express my creativity and share it with others. So, yes, I truly believe that having something to aim for is important for me, as only after achieving them I can understand that my hard work paid off, and I can feel satisfied with myself. Good. Good job, Husni. Good answer. Good answer. You guys are doing good. I knew this was a good topic because you guys are doing great. Without a doubt, it can be a key role to lead successful and a famous person. After gaining my ambitions, the next plans come to hear my mind, and there will be motivation to achieve another goal. Then I can be successful person in the world. Okay. With that, after accomplishing my ambitions. Yeah. Okay. Good. Nazli, I would like to say that it is extremely important to accomplish my accomplishment. You need to use a synonym. So it is important to accomplish my goals. For example, whenever you are achieving your goals, you are becoming more relentless and persistent. This is because you know that we can face different kinds of difficulties. Because because life's greatest lessons are taught through difficulty. I feel like I have had a lot of life experiences. But here's the thing. If I set a bar for my studies to outperform myself, these kinds of qualities always encourage me to push myself to the limits to achieve my goal. Nazli, why do you say achieve my achievements and accomplish my accomplishments? Why? Why? You should just say accomplish my achievements and achieve my accomplishments. It sounds better. It doesn't sound good to say achieve my achievements. Okay. It is essential to set my goals in my life. Your answer is a little bit too long. Good job. Good job answering it, but it's a little bit too long. Try to make it more concise. Odebek, I would say that it's really crucial to succeed in my goals because when I reach my goals, it gives me happiness. Okay. It gives me happiness and I feel self-confidence, and then I'll try to go forward. Okay. Okay. Every person wants to achieve their goals because they live to do something in their lives. Without clear aims and goals, people may stop in place. And also, it can impact people's feelings. For example, if people reach their goals, they will feel happy. Good. Okay. Yes, achieving goals and dreams is the most essential thing that has to be done, even though there are obstacles which don't always let us reach our goals. Actually, there are always Actually, we are always supposed to encounter them on the way to our achievements because they make us understand how our goals and dreams are so valuable by showing us that they require a lot of hard work to overcome. Great answer. There's some problems with grammar, but the answer is very good and very concise. That's awesome. Good job. Jamshed. Yes, definitely. It's really important for me because goals help me to stay on track. So I may feel less likely to get lost in the world of troubles and miseries because my aim is on my goal. And currently I tend to forget about everything because the entire focus is on achieving the goal. Hopefully I will achieve a lot more than what I want to achieve, if God wills. Good. I like your answer. Good job. My favorite part is very, very good word right here. Less likely to get lost in the world of troubles. World of troubles? That's a very good idea. A very good phrase. Good job. A short video, but a very deep meaning is hidden. Oh, this is the extra question. Good job, Diora. Every living soul sincerely wants to do what she wants to do at least once in his or her entire life. If we can't do things which we really want, and if we don't do it, our life loses its meaning. That's why every person must achieve their dreams and enjoy their lives. Good. Good job. Good job, Diora. Star, golden star. Okay. Kiwi. You know it's not good. I thought he sacrificed his life because people around him manipulated him. Then he did it on purpose. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Dinora Lapasova. In my view, gaining what you want is important for everyone, and I'm not an exception as well. When you achieve your goals, you feel self satisfaction, and it motivates you to move forward. Sometimes people should sacrifice some things in order to reach their goals, especially if the thing they want is to get it, especially if the thing they want to get is worth that sacrifice. In fact, mostly we cannot achieve something or succeed without giving things that are valuable for us. Time and effort would be the best examples. Also, there's a saying, no pain, no gain. Good. Very nice. Very, very nice. Good job. No pain, no gain. Ooh. Shahriar. Yes, of course. To be honest, everyone has a big desire. Everyone has a big desire. For example, some people want to go abroad for education or to find a lot of money. But it is important, but it is difficult to achieve their goals. The first main thing I guess everyone has to acquire is a lot of experience from their teachers, and they should gain good knowledge. Pull an all-nighter. What? This is like very general. These are like general ideas, and then this is very specific. So it doesn't really work together. Pull an all-nighter, you usually use this phrase when you are talking about like some kind of experience in your life, like a specific moment, like when you are, when you are pulling an all-nighter, when you're not going to sleep, like one time in your life. That's the specific answer. Okay, Husni. Oh, that's a thought-provoking question. Good, very good. Thought-provoking question is a great phrase. Yet it really depends on the things that people sacrifice. For example, if the person is going to jeopardize, very good word, jeopardize his health or mental well-being, then it isn't worth it. But from time to time, sacrificing something is the only way to accomplish our goals. Husni, very good answer. Perfect answer grammatically and like in terms of vocabulary, very good. I don't know if you're using some kind of like, I don't know, translator or something, but this is amazing. This is a very good answer. All right, cool. Good. Let's move on to the next part of today. Is Barno still here? Barno left. She left. If you would like to be my speaking assistant for today, please raise your hand. We're going to move on to the answers part of today. So raise your hand if you want to be my speaking assistant. Speaking assistant. Okay. Mahsuda, please say hello if you can hear me. Mahsuda, please unmute yourself.
Good evening.
Yellow. I can hear you. Please say hello.
Hello.
Hi. Okay. Are you ready to be my speaking assistant?
Of course.
Awesome. So here are the questions. I want you to choose some questions about books, some questions about films. So like change them a little bit. 3 questions about books, 3 questions about films would be perfect. So here they are.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. So I'm going to be using the vocabulary from today's lesson. So let's get into it. Yeah, you may begin. Maksuda, please ask me a question from the...
Okay. Yeah. From these questions, I should choose 3. Yes? 3 of them, yeah?
3 about books, 3 about films. Overall 6.
Okay. The first question, what kind of books do you like to read?
My favorite books are books that make me feel some kind of emotion. They have to be entertaining or dreary or futuristic. They have to tell some kind of story. I only like books that have a good plot, usually some kind of intricate plot with a lot of very interesting details happening in the book.
Have you lent books to others?
Yes, sometimes I give my books away to other people. Mostly, I give them away to my students, for example. And I give my students books to read for homework or for homework
Mm,
or for classwork, and then I make them write some kind of concise analysis about what they read.
mm-hmm. What about, do you read electronic book?
Yes. I really there's a big difference for me between online books and offline books because generally online books they don't feel as gripping. Whenever you have a physical book, right, like a real hardcover or soft cover, you can feel that the book is like doing something to you emotionally. You can feel it inside. Sometimes it's
Mm,
spine tingling. Sometimes it's very poignant. But
mm,
books that are digital, electronic books, they usually don't feel as good. I still read them, but I don't like them as much.
okay, I agree with you. And how often do you watch films?
Okay, pause 1 second. So I need to do something. Give me 1 moment. I'll be right back. There's an emergency. 1 moment. 1 second. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I apologize.
May I carry on
Oh.
asking you?
Hmm?
May I carry on asking you questions?
Yep. We'll make the lesson a little bit longer today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Continue. Next question, please.
Okay. Do you prefer foreign films or films made in your country?
Hmm. I think that movies are. I think that movies are very connected to the culture which they came from. And because of that, different cultures like telling different stories. Movies from India usually feel different than movies from the US, and movies from Uzbekistan feel different from other movies. I think it's important to not judge a book by its cover, and whenever you choose a movie, Whenever I choose a movie, I really like to um, think about the plot first. I don't think about the country where it came from, but I like to think about what happens in the story, because I feel like it doesn't really matter what culture it's from. Movies can be interesting regardless.
Mm-hmm. Do you think subtitles are better than dubbing for foreign films?
Yes. By the way, dubbing, just this is not my answer, but this is an explanation. Dubbing is when somebody who like makes the translation of the movie, they make it with the voice. Like whenever you can hear the voice in your own language, not in English. So subtitles are like at the bottom, dubbing is like the voice. Um, Personally, whenever I'm watching a movie in another language, I always prefer to watch the subtitled version, because I feel like um, it gives much better characterization. Because a lot of the time, whenever you hear the original voice, you can feel the original emotions that were put into that acting, or into that movie or cartoon or whatever. It should sound the way that it was planned, the way that it was intended. I think that is important for me for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Last question about films.
Okay. What kind of films are not suitable for children?
I think children should not watch any creepy films, any horror movies. I think that like there's a lot of children's movies which have different elements that are maybe a little bit spine tingling. But I think that generally children should focus on movies that have some kind of twist, or they have some kind of tale inside that tells them some kind of story and something that they can learn. I think it's important that children should watch movies that teach them something, even if it's not like a movie that literally tells them some kind of lesson. It should just be something that they can learn from, like about friendship or about the world or about their families. Something like that is very important. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Masuda, and thank you for waiting. Thank you to everybody for waiting. I
Thank
apologize.
you
I had
too.
I had Okay. Awesome. Thank you. Let's continue the lesson. Okay. So let's continue. As I said, the next part of today is going to be the grammar part of today. So today we're going to be talking a bit about one part of grammar that is very important for the IELTS test, and that is comparatives and superlatives. This is There's like 10 pages here. This is a very long guide about how to use comparatives and superlatives in English completely. All of the techniques, all of the information, all the skills. This is basically every single way that you can use comparatives and superlatives. And they are important. Comparatives and superlatives are very good. I'm not going to go through everything because there's not enough time, and also because you should already know a lot of these things. So let's do this. Instead, I'm going to find, actually, I don't need to find it. I have it right here. One sec. You know what? I have a list of comparative and superlative, what was it called? Comparison IELTS questions. So comparison is one of the question types. Here it is. One of the question types. And it is one of the questions that you need to know how to handle. You will have at least one of these questions on your test, almost always. If it's not part 1, then it will be part 3. So it is very important to understand how to use these structures in order to answer these questions. That is literally the task for, the goal of learning this grammar. The goal is to be able to answer these questions. So let's get into it and let's talk a little bit about how you could be doing that. Let's look at the first question. How is where you live different from how it was 20 years ago? The first thing that you need to do when you're listening is you need to analyze quickly what the tenses are. It seems like it's not very important, but tenses are generally one of the most important parts of a question. And you do this mainly because you're going to be answering the question in the same tense as it was asked. So, for example, right, how is where you live different from how it was 20 years ago? So, how is, right, present continuous, and how it was, past simple. These are the two tenses that you're focusing on. How it was 20 years ago, at one point in the past. So, how you would answer is, my hometown was very something. But now my hometown is something else. Like, my hometown was very old. Now it's very modern. That's like a very good direct answer, right? You always have to start by giving some kind of objective answer to the question, right? The question is, how was it and how is it? Like past, present, and then your answer should be the same exact way. It was like this, it is like this. Keep it simple. Just keep it as simple as possible. A lot of people like to say something at the beginning, like, before I thought that, this. Like, just keep it as simple as possible. Just answer the question directly. That's the first thing I recommend. And then after that, you can start giving some kind of explanation. So you can say, like for example here, like I'm looking through this because there's just so many different structures that you can use. I could really use like any of these. Let's say this one. As something as. You use this structure whenever you are trying to make something equal to something else. So you would say, for example, direct answer. My hometown used to be, my hometown was very old and now it is very modern. This is the direct answer. And now I'll say, Tashkent nowadays is as modern as any other city, like, for example, New York or Shanghai, whatever. And so here you are using as. You are comparing. Here in this case, we are comparing, the city with another city, and you are not comparing the same city to the past. You can also compare these two parts. So as you can see here, there's two parts in this question, right? There is the past and there's the present. So you can say, for this we would use like a superlative. So you would say, nowadays Tashkent is much better than it was in 20 years ago. Much better than it was 20 years ago. So much better is a comparative. And there's a list right here of comparatives and superlatives, how you would make them. But yes, this is one of the most important structures you need to keep in mind. Let me go through and let me tell you some of the structures that are like more important. This is important. This whole like structure right here. This is very important. This is very important. This is like it's relatively important. This is like super important. This is the most important one. And these are also very good. So all of these are like really great structures. Basically, go through this whole list. I recommend you to maybe like underline some sentences that you think are important yourself. Maybe make some examples for homework. Here's what I actually want you to do for homework. I want you to completely write out, like using your computer or whatever, write out answers for each of these questions. The same way that we do during the lessons, each of these, write them down. So let me write this down. Number 4, 5. Write down answers for the questions on the last page. So full answers. Let's do this. I just want you to choose 5 questions. So whichever 5 questions are the most interesting, those are the ones you should do. Good. Okay, so that's it. That's about it. I hope that was understandable. All of these structures are great. This is basically like a guide of the way that English is used, and I recommend you to go through it, learn all these. You should already know a lot of these, but if you can make like a structure in your notebook of like all the different ways that you can use these sentences, that would be good. Remember to answer these questions using some of the structures, and that will be good for you for sure. Choose 5, whichever ones are interesting for you, and answer them. That's it. I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you all so much for participating in today's lesson. I apologize for having to leave. Again, there was an emergency. I hope you guys have a good day. That's it. Goodbye. Lesson 11 is finished.